Sold-out Giant Stadium on a brilliant afternoon. Completely unexpected by most of us. Temperature is supposed to get up to 40 degrees before the game is over. As you look in on Mike Ditka's last meeting before it all began. Bill Parcells, the Giant coach, on the other side. Temperature right now just exactly at freezing. The wind northwest 13 miles an hour. The wind chill factor makes it feel like it might be 12 degrees. And the forecast partly sunny.
You know, it's interesting. Every time we talk to Bill Parcells and they'd play in Giant Stadium, he'd want giant weather. He'd want cold, and he'd want snow and blizzard. And he said, you know, with this team that he has, the Giants, against the Bears, he said it's the first time in a big game of my life I can ever remember rooting for good weather. He thinks that this weather today is an advantage to his team.
Well, of course, playing at Soldier Field, Chicago, they're used to the elements. A lot of teams that come in here are not. Johnny Bailey and Dennis Gentry back deep for the Bears. The ball blew off the tee. If it does it again, somebody will come hold it.
I think they'll probably come hold it right now. We see Perry Williams there come running in, and he's going to hold it. Again, you want that held. You want it held gingerly.
Mike Ditka asked if he thought there was a difference. Said, I think they've got better special teams than we do. Dennis Gentry handles the opening kickoff, and they'll bring it out to the 20 where Mike Tomczak. He doesn't like to be called a backup quarterback, and indeed he was a starter at one time. In front of him, that veteran offensive line that's been together so long: Covert, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, Van Horn, the tight end James Thornton, and look out for him today. The Bears plan to utilize his talents. Anderson and Mustard, the runners. Davis and Morris, the wide receivers. They both go left. Tomczak. The Giants showing that four-man line early. And Tomczak gives to Anderson for no gain, maybe a yard. Mike Fox, ever progressing as a defensive player.
Pat, now this has to be the surprise here. You see the four defensive line here, then you have a linebacker here, a linebacker here, and a safety up here. So they have 8 men up, 4-man line, the first time they'd used that all year. So the Bears could not have expected this.
The safety up, Greg Jackson. 2nd and 9, 4 down defensive linemen. They're going to have to throw it against this, and Tomczak will. Pass is caught by Wendell Davis, a one-handed snag. Knocked out of bounds by Jackson. 37-yard gain on the play.
And that was the play that the Bears needed. They needed it early. We talked about that. Mike Ditka says he's going to come out passing. Tomczak, we know, needs confidence early. And watch this catch by Wendell Davis. A one-hander. He just goes boom and catches that thing out there. I'll tell you, just watch here. He's just going to come out and run a corner pattern out there. Good pass protection. I think the Giants are in there expecting a run, play and run. Look at the space they have out there. Wendell Davis runs a perfect pattern.
The Bears back quickly, sent Anderson off to the right side for a pickup of 2. Stopped by Carl Banks.
I think that helps. You know, that's one of the things we talked about, the running. We know it's going to be Neal Anderson. We know they're going to mix in Brad Muster. But the thing that really makes the running game go is loosen up that defense. Get them out of that 8-man front so that you can have some room to run.
You're never going to be able to if you don't do that.
I think that pass to Wendell Davis was big in more ways than one.
That's Muster in motion. He's a good pass receiver. Here's Lawrence Taylor all over Tomczak, who got rid of it. And the pass is knocked down, intended for Morris. Everson Walls back with Morris.
Everson Walls was all over Morris. Let's watch Lawrence Taylor here. The Bears know if they're going to pass, Mike Ditka says, we got to get Lawrence Taylor blocked. They bring the guard out on him in the first play. He misses him. He made Tomczak dodge him in order to throw that one. Like Ditka was saying last night, everyone says Lawrence Taylor slowed down. He says, I haven't seen it.
3rd and 8. When you talk about a guy who rises to a different level, it would be Taylor when the time comes. A pass overthrown, intended for Anderson. The Bears will have to punt. Duerson, the ex-Bear, on the coverage that time.
You know, the one thing the Bears did do is they got good field position. They're punting now from the 45, so the Giants should have to start inside their 20.
Maury Buford, who had a tough time with the wind at Soldier Field last week, back to punt. And Dave Meggett, the NFC leader, is back at the 10 for the Giants. Hangs for Meggett. Signals fair catch. The ball bounces and is down to about the 5 by the Bears. Crosley, I believe, was the tight end who was now James Coley. Beg your pardon. No score yet.
Ford Ranger's most beautiful feature may be this. Ford Ranger, the best gas mileage of any pickup.
As Jeff Hostetler makes his first start in the playoffs. Up front of him, Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Moore, Riesenberg, with Mark Bavaro, the tight end. In the backfield, Otis Anderson, the veteran, with Maurice Carthon. Ingram and Baker start wide. Baker's left, Ingram's right. Jeff Hostetler as the Giants start from at 5. The fake is to Anderson. They're going to do the same thing the Bears did. Anderson incomplete. The Bear defense, they both are stingy. Up front, Trace Armstrong and Richard Dent. The ends, William Perry and Dan Hampton. In the middle, the linebackers, Rivera, Singletary, and Morrissey. And the secondary, a good one, Wolford and Jackson, the corners. Mark Carrier and Sean Gale, the 2 safety men. They're the heart of that secondary. 2nd down, 10 from the 5 for the Giants. And Hostetler. And off to Anderson, hit by William Perry right at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, that is running into a wall. You know, looking at William Perry down there, Pat, he looked like he gained 20 pounds since last week. It could just be the white jersey.
Store a lot of food in that freezer.
Well, watch him right there in the middle. He takes on the guard, pushes the whole thing down there, and I'll tell you, once they run into Perry in that middle, that is the end of their run.
I don't think the wind bothers William Perry too much.
He will always have his feet on the ground.
Meggett in the backfield and Hostetler. Flag on the play. Hostetler out of the end zone for Baker. Overthrown, but a good workout. Penalty marker down way back at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Paul was in the coverage. Offside the Bears. Free play for the Giants.
You know, if Jeff Hostetler knew that was a free play, if he saw the Bears jump, then that's a very, very smart thing to do. If you got a free one, go big.
Defense, number 95, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 3rd down.
That's Richard Dent. Here's what we're talking about right there. Moving before the ball is snapped. You see right there, he gets in that neutral zone. He didn't look like he got very far in that neutral zone. He just
far enough just to be neutral.
Right. He went from a 3-point stance to a 4-point stance.
Here's Hostetler. Out of the shotgun, and down he goes by Trace Armstrong. The guy who's really developed this year. Loss of 4.
See, the other guy that was right there is
driving low spiral to Bailey, who handles it at the Bears 40. And the coverage teams are down in a hurry. Bobby Abrams made the stop. 51-yard punt. Only a 1-yard return. Back at Giant Stadium, Tomczak looks at a Giant 4-man front on defense. Outside, picked off by Mark Collins. Intended for Dennis Gentry, bounced out of his hands, and Collins got the rebound.
The Bears had great field position here. Dennis Gentry is a big play guy for him. This time Gentry gives up the big play. Goes into his hands, hits his shoulder pad, bounces up in the air, and Mark Collins is right there.
Dragged down by Gentry. Hampton in the game as the running back now instead of Anderson. Now he goes in motion. Hostetler sprints right. Screens left to Bavaro. Bavaro out of bounds inside the Bear 30. Knocked out by Vesti Jackson after a gain of 5. Ever dangerous coming out of the backfield. Hostetler from the shotgun. Snap from Oates is good. Bears in a blitz, and Hostetler had to unload.
That's the thing that they do against Meggett now. When they get him in there, the way to keep him in is to blitz his side. Watch Meggett. He's over here on the right, number 30. They blitz. Ron Rivera comes on a blitz, makes him block. Then they blitz from the other side. So Meggett, one, he's a little guy who you make block, but two, you keep him in the backfield. You don't let him get out on a release.
Barr will try from 46 yards away to put the Giants ahead. Long for him, but this one's plenty far enough. Ain't good. And the Giants break on top. They lead 3-0 in the first quarter. To throw. He's got Ron Morris. Morris inside the Giant 30 to about the 25, stopped by Guyton. Morris split wide to the right. Ball's on the 25. Giants lead 3-0. That's Muster. Anderson, beg your pardon. Stopped by Fox after he got 2 yards.
You know, the interesting thing is that Mike Fox, the rookie, started in there along with John Washington, and the normal starting defensive left end, Eric Dorsey, isn't part of this, and he's pretty good against the run. You can see that in that 4-man line, it's Marshall and it's Howard, John Washington, and the rookie Mike Fox, number 93.
Muster in front of Anderson. 2nd and 9 at the 24. Down to the 21, he might have gotten 3. Now they go with 3 wide receivers and Dennis Gentry. It's Kozlowski in motion. Out of the shotgun, it was Anderson. Flag on the play. Anderson cut down by Taylor.
I'll tell you, they all say that great players make big plays in big games. When you get them down there and the Bears are driving on you and you need a big play and Lawrence Taylor comes through and comes up with a big play and knocks him for a 7-yard loss on a 3rd down, that's play.
Illegal motion on the offense, 2 moving at the same time. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
You watch this. We'll see Lawrence Taylor lines up all over. This time he's lining up right in the middle. Watch him come straight up the middle, get the penetration there. They can't get him, and he makes a tackle for the 7-yard loss.
He's just too quick. Good players have to play well in big games. That's what they said all day yesterday. 4th down, the Bears not trying for the field goal. Tomczak back to fire. Outside to Anderson, well short of the first down, stopped by Greg Jackson. And the Giants take over, leading 3-0 in the first quarter. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to play in the first at Giants Stadium. I got a hunch some of these players will be included. Hostetler just does get rid of it. And Bavaro makes the catch as the Bears were all over Jeff Hostetler.
I'll tell you, Richard Dent, watch Richard Dent, number 95. He takes an inside move on Jumbo Elliott. Elliott didn't even go to block him. Either Elliott was looking for someone coming from outside, or Dent went by him so quickly he didn't even see him.
That's what it looks like.
Watch him on the inside. He just splits the guard and the tackle. No one even touches Dent.
2nd and 1. It's Hampton and Carthon, the 2 running backs. And that's Maurice Carthon, first down Giants. Now the Bears put a lot of people up on the line. 8-3 this was. Hostetler's throw is wild high. Intended for Bavaro. Giants leading 3-0. Megan on the left side behind Hostetler, and he fires complete to Baker. Baker out of bounds at the Bear 36. Vesti Jackson wrestled with him, but a gain of 25, a Giant first down.
Hey, Vesti Jackson looked like he was looking in the backfield or something. Good pass protection here, gives Hostetler time. Baker runs it out. Jackson is about 8 yards away from him. I mean, Jackson was really playing inside of him. And if he does that, Baker's going to run outs on him all day. Then at the end, it looks like Vesti even gets a little face mask in there.
And gets away with it. 1st and 10 Giants at the Bear 36. 3:45 left to play in the first quarter. Hostetler chased by William Perry for a moment. Gets it to Otis Anderson. Inside the 30. Sean Gale made the stop after a pickup of 7. Ingram, the man on the move this time. And off to Carthon. Hit once behind the line. And then nudges his way. Stopped by Armstrong and Perry. A lot of deep breaths. This is Anderson. Bounces away momentarily. It's close to a first down, maybe not.
I'll tell you, when you run inside against the fridge, you aren't going to get a lot of first down.
There's not a lot of give in there.
No, because most of the bounces go backwards. There aren't many bounces when you run into 72 that go forward. They go backwards or sideways, or they'll go upside down. I'll tell you, I wouldn't run it at the fridge. I mean, I would kind of try and get it off tackle or someplace else, because I don't care. You know, I mean, they say he's big and all this, but you don't move that guy.
He moves wherever he wants to move.
And he moves you where he wants to move you.
There to 26. Roscoe is the man in motion, and Hostetler comes out of there. Gets the pass to Bob Roscoe, first down Giants. Picked up 6. Sean Gale knocked him out of bounds.
You know, that's a gutsy call by Bill Parcells, because you don't get another one. That's 4th down. You know, and I think you wonder, do you have confidence in Hostetler? I think Bill Parcells right here showed that he had confidence in Jeff Hostetler.
That's the drive so far. Every pass they've thrown except that one's been on first down. And this one is another one. For Baker, touchdown. This was one heck of a throw by Hostetler.
If they're going to get a big play in the passing game, it's going to be to Stephen Baker. Of course, we know his nickname is Touchdown Maker, but he is the guy who can really get open. It was a heck of a throw by Hostetler, but did Stephen Baker make a move on that corner move? He ran what we call a corner pattern. He's going to start in, then go back out. Watch Hostetler make that throw. I think they're reviewing it, Pat, right now. There's 1 foot, 2. He had both inbounds. Now we look at it from that angle. Still has 2 feet inbounds. But the move to get in that position by Stephen Baker was a heck of a move.
That shouldn't take too long, this review.
After further review, play stands as called. Touchdown.
Barr will try the extra point with 1 minute and 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. This would make it 10-0 Giants. The touchdown maker, Stephen Baker, just put another notch in the gun from Hostetler. Good throw, good pattern, good catch.
Okay, and a good call by Bill Parcells there. The thing that made it possible. You have to remember, they got that 4th down situation. And it takes a lot of guts to go for it on 4th down, especially in a playoff game. And then to go for it on 4th down and have your quarterback throw it to a guy named Morosco, that takes a whole bunch of them.
Tomczak up under the center, and again they run on 1st down, and it doesn't work again. Anderson stopped by Eric Howard.
I think the Giants came in with a heck of a game plan to throw the Bears off. And, of course, you have to remember now, the Giants had 2 weeks. They didn't play last week. The Bears had to play last week, so they really had an extra week to rest and to get ready.
Don't you think also, John, it makes some difference the fact that they don't play each other a lot? First time in the regular season since '87.
Yeah, and that's probably why a change works better than it would if you were really familiar.
To Mustard from Tomczak. Greg Jackson out there with it.
Yeah, I can feel this Giant defense. You know, towards the end of the season, they got a little vulnerable, but they are sure fired up in this first quarter.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, the Giants 10, the Bears nothing.